So I've almost got it sanded down. This outside diameter right here was 12.5 and this inside one was 9. So I've almost got the outside grinded down to match with these two inside grooves. Once I get it down to 9, I have to get the whole thing down to 7.5. And then I have to somehow get a new groove in there for the oil seal. But that's what I'm working on. There it is. By hand. Well, I used a grinder, and then I took the rest off with a file. So I should be down to 9 mil. I got to take it down to 7.5 from here. So I took it down to basically 8 mil, and then it tapers out just because of inconsistency in the process. It tapers out to about 8.2. All right, and then on the oil stick, the widest point, including the grommet, including the seal, is basically just under 8. So I'm gonna check, see if it fits. One second. Let's go. This is right here. Okay, this is just tight. So I gotta take it down a little bit more. There it is. I think I got it. So this is exact size. I still gotta figure out how to put the seal on there, but that's the least of my worries right now. I could always just carve a groove into there and put the seal in, but check out this fitment. It's just a fucking oil stick and nobody cares. Except for me. Ooh, sorry, my bad. So this is the seal. Seal's gotta go on there. I'm gonna do the same process. I'm gonna spin it. I think I'm gonna start by cutting a notch and then starting with a round. Actually, this notch is square, and I think that's so the seal doesn't pop off when you lift it out. So I'm gonna do my best to replicate that. We shall see how that goes. So this is my first test. I think I gotta dig that groove a little deeper. I'm pretty sure I do, because the shaft of this oil handle alone is already almost the exact diameter. Yeah, so I gotta dig a pretty deep groove there. Slow progress. Okay, so I think I got it. This inside measurement here is 5'2", and I got it down to like 5'7" on this one, and I got the what do you call it, seal on there. And I think what I'm going to do, what makes sense to me, is I'm going to just install this and let heat from the engine reform that seal to this new groove. And then once that's formed, I got to figure out how to put the dipstick on. Actually, I should figure out how to put the dipstick on. But look at this fitment right here. Oh, stop. It's just an oil stick. Just stop. And what I'm going to do today, so this is my stock oil dipstick. This one I got at the junkyard, and this one I got off of eBay. You'll notice my stock one was round, so I didn't know this, but there's two different kinds for the first gen TC. This was what came off my 06. This one I think came off a 07. So it's the flat bar type, and this one is just the handle. I got it on eBay. You'll notice this is the original shape, and this is what I filed it down to. So it is 12 millimeters at this part, and then the seal, the groove for the seal is 9 millimeters. So what I did is I grinded it down to 9. I took this nub, and that down to 9. That way it's all one consistent diameter. And then I went from 9 to 8. So 8 is the diameter of the stock oil stick with the seal on. So if this seal was on here, that would measure 8 in diameter. This yellow part is 7.5. So there's a 1/2 mil difference between when the seal is on and when it's off. So anyways, this is 7.5, and then with the seal it's 8. This whole thing is 8. And then the inside, this groove is 5.2. And I took mine down to about 5.7. So this is a little bit tighter of a tolerance than stock. Anyways, the way I did that is I put this in a grinder, and I ground it down, and then I put it in my vise, and then I hand filed it down to about 8.5. And then from 8.5, I took this rivet, I put it in here, I put the set screws in, and I spun it in my drill, and I held a file here, and I got it down to 8 from there. Then for this groove, same thing, I put it in the drill, I spun it, and then I held a file here to cut that groove. My next step is to put this actual rod in, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick any point on this rod. I'll use this here so I don't confuse you guys. I'm going to pick any point on this rod, make a mark, and then make a mark here and measure that. And essentially the distance for the base of the handle here should be the same when I install this in here. So let's say it's 4 inches from here to whatever mark. When I install this rod in here, it's got to be 4 inches from this base to the mark. So essentially I'm going to cut this off, and I'm not sure if I'm going to take all this off yet. I got to figure that out, but I do want to see how it's set in here. I have a feeling it's just molded in there.
So here's where I'm at. I gotta go all the way through. Or, well,
See right there. You can see the hole. Right there. That's the hole. I gotta get that. I gotta get a set screw or a roll pin in there or something. All right, I'm very close to figuring this out. I got the rod in there. I drilled it out. I bored that hole out to 3.5 mil, and I just need to find a way to secure it. I've almost got it. So I've actually just bored that out to 3.5. The reason why I only went to 3.5 instead of 4, because this inside shaft where the oil seal is on is at 5.7. So if I bore this out to 4, I'm only going to have 1.7 on each side. I mean, that might be enough, but I'd rather have 3.5, so I have basically just over a mil on each side of that inside part, which is not a lot. And plus I'm just working with hand tools, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's not completely accurate. So then I don't have a lot to work with here, but I shaved off a little bit, and I shaved off a little bit, and I'm basically just trying to shove it in here. I got to get this hole to line up with this hole, so I've got to go all the way in like that, and that'll be perfect. what I'm using is a 2 mil, and these bits have a step in them so that it cuts. You see the step right there. Anyways. This is basically 2 mil. I fucking got it. So what I did is I went to O'Reilly's and I bought assorted roll pins. You can see them right here. The correct size roll pin was 5/64, and 5/64 is 2 mil on the drill bit. I turned it over. I marked a hole here with my punch. I scored it, hand drilled it, and I fit the roll pin through. So you could see it's going right through the hole. And that is the other side of the set pin right there. So basically I just got to chop this off and shave it. I think I'm probably going to fill the inside with epoxy so it's all clean. But that's it right there. And then let's check the measurement. This should be, I don't know if my marks are still here. So you can see this mark right here, 2, 3, and 3, 4, and 5. So let's check it. I don't know if you could see it, but this is the whole reason why I marked 3 different ones, because I thought that handling it would kind of rub the marks off, but I accounted for that. Let me see here. So base, there's the base right here. 3, 4, and 5 is already rubbed off. So now when I insert this dipstick, it should measure exactly how the stock one measures. Oh.